Hey everyone, Carrie Beck here with How to Homeschool My Child, Homeschool Coffee Break, where we help you stop the overwhelm, simplify your homeschool, and take a coffee break. I am here to walk with you through all of that. We are finishing up a series on money and debt and side hustles. And so I am super excited about it. It's really, I was shocked how many people responded to this at the very beginning. So we're going to just finish out this time with my personal story when it comes to money. And I want to talk about freedom because I know a lot of you choose to homeschool because of the freedom that you actually receive. And I think that's important in all areas of life. My question to you is this. I actually have two questions. Number one, are you teaching finances as a life skill in your homeschool? If not, why not? Leave that in the chat wherever you leave a comment, wherever you are listening to this. Secondly, do you have a side hustle? A lot of y'all want a side hustle. I have seen the response. If not, what's keeping you back from pulling the trigger? I'm going to talk towards the end of this about 5 secrets when it comes to a side hustle from my personal story. But let's start out with my story and freedom. And then we're going to talk about money and then debt and then side hustles, just to sort of give you a picture of where we are headed. So, why is freedom so important to me? I've talked about this in many times, especially in my family eBiz group. If you're not a part of it and you want to join, you can go to Facebook groups and it's family eBiz. That's it, simple. I love my freedom because I don't have to ask anyone to be able to take off and go help my grandkids when they need it. The other day, a week or so ago, I started work at 10 a.m. That is not normal for me. Actually, I started work around 10 a.m. this morning. Just took a while. Sort of sad to say, but I found a couple of mice in our little mouse traps and had to deal with those things, but oh well. Um, it went to sleep when I start at 10 a.m. It's not just to sleep until 9:30 and then get started. It's because I am spending a little extra time with God, just like I did today, and just like I did a couple weeks ago. I have time to journal, and then I have time to encourage other moms and wives. A lot of times I was texting a few people today, especially as I pray for them. I love the freedom to be able to start my workday when I want to start my workday or when I'm ready to start it. I also like the freedom, I've mentioned this before, to help my children and my grandkids to be able to go and help them. And, for some of you, if you haven't heard, a couple weeks ago, I got a phone call at 12 noon. I was supposed to leave the following day to go help my daughter Gentry, but they had an emergency come up. And at 12 noon, I said, don't think about it. I will be there. And so I rearranged a few things, packed my bags, got in the car, and drove 3 hours. I did not have to ask a boss or anyone else. So that is something I really appreciated, that God has blessed me with a job and with the finances to be able to leave and go and help. Now, I still worked while I was up in Dallas. I just had to rearrange some things to be able to fit around the kids' schedule and Gentry's schedule while her husband was out of town. So why would you want freedom in your life? Why are finances a concern? So let me tell you a little story. Let's start my story. I'm going to tell you a story. Here it goes. We have always been self-employed. And what that means to me is that I have had to trust God in more ways than I had ever dreamed of. There was a time I'm sitting right here in this kitchen. You can't really see it because it's blurred. But there was a time when we remodeled this kitchen, and for the next year, we did not go out to dinner at all. We went out one time for my birthday. It was to a hamburger joint a few blocks away. It was less than $10. But we had to watch our money. We actually ended up taking out a loan. I do not like that. We determined to pay it back in 1 year. And so we did everything we could to cut costs. Do you do that with your money? And I'm so blessed to be able to say that. But I will tell you my attitude towards money. It's not like I just love money. Oh, I just do. I mean, live to make money. Anyone that says they have a business to make money, there is a bigger root reason if you have a business. My root reason, my big why is the freedom. It is my children. It is my grandkids. It is the freedom to be able to go and travel. Like tomorrow, I'm going to be able to go and take a vacation. I haven't taken a vacation in a year, and I'm actually going up to Portland, Maine. Yay, it'll be cool. And then the following week will be sort of a work vacation. I'm going to go join Hunter in El Salvador. And that is because I have an online business. I have the finances. I just went to the bank, pulled out a bunch of cash because in El Salvador, you got to pay a lot of things by cash. And I also like to have cash to be able to tip people because I want to make people feel well. So I have that. And then, but I will tell you, even though I don't love money, I enjoy money. I enjoy helping people. Just like today, I came home and my neighbor has had COVID. She's 80 years old. And I was like, hey, I'm running some errands. If you need anything, let me know. And usually no, 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 no. She says, I'm really craving something sweet like ice cream or a chocolate candy bar. So when I stopped at the grocery store on the way home, I picked her up a little thing of ice cream, not expensive. But she's like, how much do I owe you? You don't owe me a thing. This is just my gift to you. All right. So I enjoy using it. And just for hospitality, to spend money on food, to have people over. There's lots of ways I enjoy that. But I will tell you, from the time we remodeled this kitchen, fast forward about 10 years, I made some not wise choices about our family income, and because we were all about staying debt free. Debt free. I still believe everyone should be debt free. I actually think you should pay for cars cash, and you should save up to pay for cars instead of getting a loan for them. That isn't everyone's idea, but that's what I think. A house, I understand, but everything else, I think we need to change our attitude about that. So, but after that debacle with the remodeling, I made another unwise choice and we ended up in credit card debt. It was so bad, I would wake up in the middle of the night worrying about it. Steve didn't really know. He sort of knew what was going on, but he didn't really know all the details. I had that debt on my shoulders. I was constantly concerned about it. It was a chain. It was choking me. I don't know if y'all have credit card debt or unnecessary debt, but that is not good. And I determined we were paying that off as soon as possible and never again. And praise God, thank you that I have not gone into debt again. Now, I know there are emergencies and everything, but I do think that for the most part, we should be saving up our money and we should be teaching our kids to save up their money for large expenses. That's the way it goes. I truly believe that. Now, fast forward another 10 years to 2020. I had a part-time online business. It was more of a hobby business, to be perfectly honest. And on Memorial Day of that year, I lost half my income. I was involved in some other ways of making money that had nothing to do with online business. I lost half my income and I thought, oh no, what am I going to do? Number one thing you need to do with your finances, trust God. Always trust that. That goes back to having to be self-employed since the beginning. Trust God. To not loving money, but being able to enjoy and use it for wise things. Trust God. To stay debt-free as much as possible. Trust God. He will give you the money when you need it for large expenses as well. And that's all I could say was I needed to trust God. Thank goodness he watched out for me. That was that whole summer, Memorial Day to Labor Day. I didn't know what I was going to do. I kept trusting God and he provided. Now, does that mean that's always what's going to happen? No, but he provided for me in a very tangible way. Did that mean I made millions? No, not at all. In fact, I got a COVID check from the state of Texas, or I don't know, I think it was state of Texas, one in July. And then after that, I kept making more money and I could not apply for any more checks. Thank you. I didn't want to depend on the government. I only wanted to depend on God. That is one of the number one things I would encourage you when it comes to your money and finances, and training your children to do that as well. So let's move on to side hustle. I've talked about money. I've talked about debt. Let's talk about side hustle. I have had an online business since about 2002 or 3, something like that. In 2003, I read a book about leadership education. It wasn't from a Christian perspective, so my readers would not read it. In 2006, I outlined and recorded, just in a little recorder, the first edition of Raising Leaders, Not Followers. And over the next 10 years, I sold it in a variety of methods. I sold it as individual ebooks, individual paperbacks, bundled with videos and audios and ebooks and PDFs. So I took this information, because that's a lot of what online is. It's an information business. I took it and sold it in a wide variety of methods. But over those 10 years, I made 5 mistakes. I'm going to share these secrets. These are my 5 mistakes that I have made. I'm going to tell you how you can avoid them. Number 1 mistake. I did not make it easy to consume. It was so overwhelming. They got a whole bundle. They got all the ebooks, all the audio and video, all the printables, everything. I didn't drip it. And that was overwhelming. I will say in 2017, I turned it into an email course with 12 weekly lessons. And that was a good thing, because it was dripped a little bit at a time. And it had a few people, less than a handful of people, that consumed it and found success. So my first mistake is it was not easy to consume. My second mistake that I made in this side hustle is I did not focus on one thing. I kept trying to add. I didn't focus on one course. I had many courses. I alternated promoting. There was a year, every month I promoted a different course. And people didn't know what to do because I had so much to offer. And that was confusion, basically. I had approaches to Christian homeschooling. I had an organization toolkit. I had a how to think course. I had a love of learning course. And then I had my Raising Leaders course. Which one do they start with? Where do they go? And so I think one of the best things you can do is focus on one thing until it is successful, then move on. All right. So that was mistake number 2. Number 1, it wasn't easy to consume. Number 2, way too many things. Didn't focus on one course. My mistake number 3 is I did not have a marketing funnel following a proven plan. I had all these people coming to get freebies from me. I mean, freebies since 2008, because I just wanted to make freebies. I didn't know what I was doing. And they just ended up on my list, and they got emails from me about whatever. There was nothing specific that directed them to Raising Leaders, Not Followers. So I had no plan, no marketing funnel. In 2019, I did create a welcome series. I made a welcome series and used the love of learning as an entry to Raising Leaders. So that was a good thing. I took a smaller chunk of it and moved people into my big flagship course. But there still was no proven marketing funnel at the time. I was discounting the price so low, it really devalued my course. I was selling it for only $37 at times, sometimes $47. There was so much more in it that I should have been valuing and finding a better way to do that. But at least I was trying, right? All right, number 4. I just said it, discounting the course, pricing it too low for the value. In 2021, that is a big mistake. We, in the homeschool niche especially, we want to give everything free or give it for $17, $27. But I realized that I needed to quit discounting it. My Raising Leaders course does not get discounted. It is the same price no matter what, whether you're the VIP or the regular bundle. Then in 2021, in the spring, I recorded all new sessions, and I made that a 12-week course. That was way too much information. So sometimes we give too little. I gave way too much. I invited the people to my live recording, my live session and my recording, but it was still overwhelming. So that was a mistake as well. And that is mistake number 5. 12 weeks is too long for pretty much anyone, but especially for busy homeschool moms, for them to consume it and to implement it. All right. So my mistakes in my side hustle, whether you do a digital course or something else, wherever, let's just talk about those 5 mistakes. Number 1, I didn't make it easy to consume. We want people to consume it and like it, to share it with other people. Number 2, I didn't focus on one course or one thing. So there was way too much and there was so much confusion. Number 3, there was no marketing funnel or from a proven plan. I didn't really know my funnel that I was using, and there should be. Number 4, I was discounting way too much and undervaluing the information. And then number 5, it was way too long for people to consume. 12 weeks is way too long for anything, whether you're doing a course or an event or whatever. We need to look at busy people and make sure it fits within them. So those are my secrets that I want to share, but I have one final extra bonus secret. If you would like to overcome any of these mistakes, I would like to invite you to Course Confident Bootcamp. I've already signed up. I already have our private Facebook pop-up group. This is where I will give group coaching. Even though I'll be in Maine on Wednesday and Thursday, I will set aside time to be able to be there with you as well. I think this boot camp, not only is it going to give you the foundation for a side hustle with a digital course, you will also be with like-minded other entrepreneurs. I will tell you right now, I was thinking, I know I already have 3 or 4 people in the homeschool niche. So if you are a homeschooler, this is perfect. And it's a safe place, and it's only $47. The other thing I really like about Course Confident is the mindset. Amy will go live every day for 5 days, maybe 7 days on mindset. If you don't think you can pull that trigger, you need to get in there and listen to the 9 o'clock mindset minutes that she is offering. The other thing I love about what she is doing is that this will actually could increase income or even start a side hustle to help you pay your family bills. You know, I am leaving for 2 weeks. Does that mean my business is just on hold? No, it's wash, rinse, repeat. We just got it all set up, I hope, by tonight before we leave. So those are a few things. The other thing I just want to sort of close with is one of my mistakes is I didn't follow a proven plan. I knew that when I found Amy Porterfield, I've been listening to her for a couple years. She was the person I was going to follow. When she opened up DCA back in 2021, she didn't have a boot camp. I would have gotten in that boot camp like this immediately and done that, because I knew that if I spent $47 and from now until Christmas, if I only made $47 or 97 or 200, I had completely recouped my investment. That was important to me. I also discovered that she is going to give me the foundation so that I create a course that people want. So often, everyone's like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and you don't even know. She will give you the questions to ask so that you can make sure that you're not wasting your time. The other thing I did do, and based on the things she teaches in the boot camp, I increased my price to $197. $197 for a how-to homeschool course in the homeschool niche. Yes, and people continue to buy it. It's on a regular basis. I focused for that year all on raising leaders. I am adding a little bit coming up this year, but I focused on it. This gave me time to improve my launches and make sure that I was doing what I needed to do. So I just invite you to join us in the Course Confident. If you will use the link, familyebiz.com/bootcamp course, familyebiz.com/bootcamp course. I'll put that wherever you're watching this, listening, wherever. I have 2 gifts for you. I mentioned in the description that I wanted to give you some special gifts this week. And so what I'm going to do is 2 things. One, you'll get my course. It's 12 steps to creating a side hustle income plan. The other thing is the group coaching. We will be in the Facebook group watching Amy together, talking by Facebook comments and everything about what she's doing. We'll have opportunities to share. There'll always be a Facebook post to share your homework and make sure, and we will hold you accountable for what you're supposed to be doing. So that is exciting too. Both of those, I didn't, in the past, I always write price lists, but I'll be honest, I think there are five group coaching sessions. I charge $100 for coaching. That's worth $500 if you met with me. So bonuses are worth $597 if you sign up. So I hope you will join me. I would love to walk with you. I'd love to see what you're thinking about. And let's just see how you can gain freedom in your finances, in your family, in your life by creating a digital course and starting to make money on a regular basis. Hey, thanks so much for spending time with me. I am Carrie Beck with Homeschool Coffee Break. Talk to you next time.